from this one. If you've been reading the novel, great, great. If you haven't, I'm going to give you like snippets of it because it's kind of interesting doing a novel because you don't want to ruin it for anybody. But you also want to share some of the key concepts that I think will bless anybody who reads the book. So last time we were reading, the week prior, we were talking about chapters 1 through 3,
Yeah,
snippets from it.
yeah.
So this one, I think we're going to just skip ahead because as y'all know, there's only like 2 more weeks left in the month. Okay.
Crazy, man.
And I think that's including this week, right?
Yep.
So there's only like 2 more weeks. So I'm
Crazy. I
thinking.
got you. I might have to choose what we're gonna do for December, for November.
So November, yes, is next month. So November, I haven't decided what book I'm doing yet, and Jacob hasn't mentioned one to consider. But we're gonna have a good one. I don't know. I might end up. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna let you know. So
By next week.
I'll let y'all know by next week what the book of the month will be for November, which is my birthday month, by the way, y'all. So I'm excited about that. And my goal was to have 50 books completed before my birthday or before the end of the year for sure. And I've done it. And it's looking like I'll have 53 done before the end of October. So
That's good. So
yeah, you gotta have goals, y'all. Y'all don't have y'all goals in front of you, you will miss it. So don't miss your goals. And good things can come to disrupt your plans, and you still make your goals happen.
right.
All right. So I want to definitely let you know that. All right. So where are we gonna start? I'm thinking we should go to like you're on 91 with me.
Yeah.
I think we should probably just skip to 91. And then we'll read a little bit here just to give you some context for Christina, which is one of the main characters. And then I'll do some filling in the blanks, but I'm going to ask you more just questions, right? Because I think the questions are ultimately what we all have questions about, anyhow. Okay. So I want to make sure. Oh, you didn't have your thing on.
Right on my.
Yeah, it's easier to hear you with this on.
I know he's like, what is he really saying?
They won't be able to hear you that well. All right, so let's do this. So Jacob loves to read, and I love to encourage everybody to read. I don't think you have to be a super reader to want to read. And so if you've ever wanted to be a part of a club that wouldn't judge how well you read, I know like when we were kids, it was like, don't call my name. It's not like that here. Okay. You don't have to be a super reader. But if you want to, use your voice and all that good stuff, let's use your voice. Right. So I would love to read your comments. If you have anything, let us know. Hi, Benjamin. Bless you too. All right. We're ready.
And when Christina gets home, she goes inside. The house is quiet. She has long for quietness, but this isn't the way she wanted it. It feels like she lost something, although she is not sure of what. She grabs some ice cream from the fridge and turns on the TV. It's early, and after 3 episodes of her favorite season, the going down seems to welcome her to sleep. At that moment, she realizes she is no different from her grandmother. She is sitting alone, watching the TV as she falls asleep. As she reflects, a few tears drop from her face, and she picks up her phone to check the time. When she looks, she sees
Javier.
Javier. I see Javier. Javier's name with the blue heart. She hesitates as she glares at her phone through tears. She pushes the call button and his phone rings. And when she thinks about hanging up, she hears, "Hello. Hey. Yeah, what's up?" replied Javier. It's Christina.
Hmm.
Hey, girl, I thought I would have been a minute till I heard from you.
I thought it would have been a minute because I heard
Right.
it, right?
I guess you made an impression. Okay, I like that. So what are you up to? Nothing, just sitting on the couch watching TV. Sounds like a Netflix and chill kind of night. Yeah, but it is a bit too chill. You got time to hang out tonight? If you are up for a date too, of course. And when do you want to link? Well, I am free now. I can come by you if you're cool with that. Yeah, I was send you the address. I may need to change. Yeah, put on something nice. We are going to have a good time tonight. You can trust me. She smiles and replies, I better. They check a bit more as she searches her closet for something to wear. She hung up and it was like she zeroed in on what to wear at the moment. It was a sequin black dress with silver accents. She wrote the perfect hues to match. She oiled up her legs, lotioned her arms, elbows, and emotions to her face. She looked like new money, but needed to do her hair and face. She entered the bathroom and applied a gel-like pencil liner that said to glide on perfectly. She normally has a slight wave, but today she nailed it. She added soft pink and gray eyeshadow and elevated the colors on the lid. She put a brown highlighter on her cheeks and a gold bronzer down her nose and under her eyes. Lastly, she added mascara.
Mascara.
Mascara. Man, all this makeup.
I'll tell you, he's like, what you talking about? Y'all bless him.
And the look was finished. All that name brand.
I'm telling you, it takes a
makeup.
couple of things.
Yeah.
Pop, pop, pop. We done.
Now to the hair, Katrina loved different quick weaves, especially with the time she had to get dressed. She decided to change up the color and wear a wig that would pop the color of her skin. She wore a red 22 inch special. She took a hotel and she never wore all that 22 to 24 inch. I don't understand.
Ladies know. If you know, you know, right? That was her. So she picked up her and was gone. Hmm.
In fact, most things in her closet she had when she was married, she never wore. It felt good to wear some of it tonight. She was dressed and thought of sitting on the couch and waiting for her date. Sitting around and waiting for someone in her own house felt weird. But as she reached the living room, there was a knock at the door. She knocked, she checked the door and opened it to see Javier there with flowers. Wow, thank you. How did you have enough time to get flowers? I can tell you all of my secrets. But dang, girl, I wasn't talking about this fly. I was expecting a cute, chill look. Well, it was some things I had lying around. Okay, let's see. Let's go see what the night brings in. You hungry? Yeah, I think so. I haven't ate since earlier today. Well, I got a nice spot for us. The two of them head out the door. Javier puts his hand around Katrina's small waist as they walked towards the car. She didn't remember his car as much from before. She didn't notice he drove a dark blue Mercedes. She is impressive, but she doesn't say a word. Her smile is sufficient for Javier, so he doesn't push for compliments.
Okay, so let me give y'all some context here. Okay, so
Wow.
if you have been through a how many of y'all are in a relationship? How many of y'all have been in one? How many of y'all have gotten out of a relationship? If you've been in one, gotten out of one, I want you to throw some hearts, put in some likes, let me know, put it in the comments. So in this particular case, she had went through a relationship, she got married, right? And when you have to start over, it's a weird, eerie feeling to find yourself having to start over when you never felt you should have had to start over. So whatever the circumstances were of the restart, the fact that you're here and you find yourself kind of living and looking like someone you never wanted to be. You know, in her heart, she didn't want to be like her mom. She didn't want to be like her grandma. She wanted to be the woman she envisioned for herself. And when she saw herself sitting in front of the TV eating ice cream like her mom and her grandmother does, she was like, "No, this is not what I want for me." Okay. And so she ends up calling a guy that she met. There is some history there. So if you read the earlier parts of the book, you can dive in more on the history that they have. And even to the unfolding of what even will happen over the course of the next few chapters. But what I love about this is the excitement and the anticipation, or her being intentional about getting dressed to go out and go do something. I think sometimes when we get heartbroken or things happen in our lives, we can kind of like seclude ourselves, and we can stay too long secluded and not just enjoy life, whether it's a date or, just hanging out with friends. I do think the importance of finding your mojo, as people would say, or finding you, having fun. It doesn't have to be jumping into another relationship per se, but I do think not avoiding people is important. So if you have been, just struggling with getting out again, I think this will be a great book to kind of show you that, okay, yeah, that one didn't work out, but let me try to get out again. So it's definitely a good book for that. There are elements of romance in the book too. I think it has Or you can let me know too in the comments. Did you feel like this book had a level of romance in it?
Somewhat,
Yeah.
somewhat. I mean,
I did say it's not a romance novel. It's not at the beginning, which is kind of funny.
it's not a love
It's not a love
story.
story.
It's not a
So
love story.
it's not a love story, definitely not. But it's also a story, I think, of how love can be. But I would definitely not say it's not a lovey-dovey story for her at all. Uh, but there are moments. Would you say, like in your relationship, Jay, that there was ever moments?
It's my relationships. It's my relationship.
All right, y'all got the singular experience. Um, have any of you? Would you say that there were like positives or like there were good times that you were like, man, this is nice, or I love being in this? Like, did you ever feel that way
Yeah, from the beginning.
in the beginning or from the beginning?
In the beginning,
Did it? Did how long did that last?
about 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah.
How long did the relationship last?
7 years.
They didn't know it was only good for 2 months.
But look, that's the thing. It was like basically like on and off and everything.
Oh.
So
Mhm.
so it's like on and off and everything. So I was basically forcing the individual to change for me,
Mm.
if that makes sense.
Okay.
I was wrong for that. 'Cause I can't change nobody because I will I need to stop being God for them.
Heard. Okay.
If that makes sense.
No,
You
it's
know?
7 days. You know, the father 7 years. He took the 7 days. The father done did some amazing things. Took him 7 days.
Right.
All right, but like I was saying, 7 days. What is it? A day is like a year is like
Yeah.
a day, or
Yeah.
1,000 years.
Yep.
So sometimes
Yep.
it can take us a minute to realize what's right in front of us,
Facts.
which is when someone is not picking us.
Experience is the best teacher.
Experience is the best teacher. How many of y'all agree with that statement? Any of y'all agree? Let me know in the comments. You can do hearts, likes, whatever is easy for you.
I said being real from the beginning.
What made you stay? I mean, I think everybody would want to know what will make you stay 7 years on top of that.
That's a good question because I hated being alone.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah, I hated being alone. So basically, I was forcing her to stay with me. You know, she didn't want to be with me, so they hurt me at the end.
Heard. Heard.
That's why they was like, yeah, oh yeah, I'm about to marry you. I'm about to I'm about to buy a promise ring, engagement ring. That's what I done did.
Hold on. Let's see. Just ordinary question says, what does it say about us if one outage can stop the world and show how little we really connect?
That's a good question.
I mean, yeah, that's twofold. I mean, some people feel like there's a literal, electrical grid outage that can knock out everything we've ever built, which goes to show you, are we really paying attention to people, right? Or are we more concerned with our own connections from our perspective and not what may really actually be there?
Right.
If you are making genuine connections, whether it's, what I'm saying, whether it's been a month or a year since you talked to them, haven't you noticed that that same electric connection is still there? And it's not forced. I have friends that I don't talk to all the time, but when I talk to them, it's like we jump right back to the last time we talked and there was no space. And I dare say, when you are connected with someone, even if you don't have to walk every day in their shoes, it allows you to do that. And I think too, in important relationships like marriage and friendships, even people you want in your life consistently, you want to have that kind of connected, that connected relationship where you both can feed on each other and feed each other, what I'm saying, to raise your spirits, to help you through something and all that good stuff. So I do believe in that. hmm Uh, anything else? Would you say, do you think men take the time to get dressed like women? I know he read our process. So there's a process to us getting dressed, right? We don't just pop out like this.
It takes time. Cause I can't wake up and like, yeah, let me put some on quick. No, it takes time for me to look.
So the looking is the issue.
Look, yes,
Okay.
look, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there an aspect in your lives that take you time to do, or do you feel like you are pretty good at nailing it on the first time? I know in my world,
I've always been like that though.
it takes you time.
Yeah.
Are you the type of person that should pick your outfit the day before?
That's a good question. I don't do that. That's for kids.
He said it for kids. I think it works for people who are indecisive. So if you find yourself being indecisive and somebody calls on you, you just need to have a Rolodex of clothes. Like, okay, if someone calls, this is my A outfit, this is my B and my C. Just keep three of them picked, okay?
Right.
So whenever you get a surprise call, you're not like rummaging through your closet and tearing up all your
It'd be,
stuff.
be different. It'd be different if you got a job, or go to school with uniform. This would be that be different.
I
That'd be
think,
different.
yeah, I think a lot of people who are in uniforms, we really are robbed of the privilege of being, confounded by what to wear today.
Right.
I think my children struggle with that going to a school with uniforms. They don't really think about clothes, which I think in part is good. But when you ask them to get dressed, they wear some of the craziest stuff that don't match. It's like, yo, you need to go through some training. You need to just start
You wear the
picking outfits and not because,
wear the same attire every day.
man, if they could,
Pick a uniform shirt and pick some pants.
it makes life easier. I will say that. It definitely
Yeah,
makes life easy.
most definitely.
Okay, so let's see. So we read a bit of chapter 8. I think we should continue. You think we should just continue where we are? Because this is one of the nice things. There's not too, well, I don't want to say there's not too many nice moments, but this is probably one of the most romantic moments in the book. I know, I told you it's not a love story, but if you want, that romantic feeling, this is the essence of the story that gives you that light, bright feeling. Let's see. Yeah, so he opens the door for her and she takes her seat while her dress hikes up to show her upper thigh. Javier tingles at the sight and grins. He walks over to his side of the car, sits inside, turns the ignition, and the two of them take off. Something about the air in this car feels light. It feels euphoric and rich, and it is something Christina longed for. Although the day quickly shifted towards night, she enjoyed looking out the window to see the sun dropping. Javier opened the roof and pulled the windows down slightly. The breeze was perfect, blowing across her face. Y'all let him blow the wig off now, because that would have been embarrassing. Can you imagine? See, if I was being silly, I would put that in one of my books. I'm gonna do that one day, y'all, for real, for real. So we are reading the book of the month, which is We Expect the Drip, Not the Downpour. And this is chapter 8, verse. Chapter 8.
The Bible.
8, 9, I know, right? Chapter and verse. Not chapter and verse. This is a novel this month, so we're real light for October. So yeah, the breeze was blowing across her face. As she continues to look out the window, the music turns up a bit more as they cruise, and she feels his hand gently rest upon her knee. And the moment, it didn't bother her. She just wanted to soak in the moment. The two They took a 20-minute drive and pulled up to a lively restaurant featuring a live band. The atmosphere was mood setting, lowly lit, with people smiling and enjoying each other's company. Her ex had never taken her to this restaurant. He thought it was dumb to waste money on places that cooked the same food for 3 times the price as others. Christina quickly pushed the comparison out of her mind and allowed Javier to take her by the hand in the hostess stand. He put their names on the list. While they waited, they went to the bar for a drink. Hey, what are you drinking tonight? Good one. I don't know if I should drink. Anything with you, she said jokingly. Come on, I got you. We are here to relax. Do you have somewhere you gotta be tomorrow? No. So let's live, enjoy, and be grown. Trust the vibe. All right. Well, pick something for me. He looked over the menu and settled on 2 colorful drinks from the drink special. The glasses were quickly served, and the two giggled for 30 minutes while they waited for their table. The time flew by. The hostess called for them and escorted them to their table. They were quickly greeted by their server, who asked for their drink orders. He ordered them a bottle of mixed blend red wine. Christina was surprised she liked it. She had never had wine before, but she liked the first one. As she sipped her wine, he looked at her and asked, So, how are you doing? What do you mean? You look great, but I figured something might have happened to make you call me. So I had to ask, You good? I just had a run in with my daughter's father. He thought all the wrong things. I hate when people are so selfish. The only thing they see for the only way they see things is from their perspective. I wasn't happy in our marriage for a long time, but I stayed. I tried. We were just too different, and he worked too much. We barely saw each other, so naturally we drifted. Yeah, I can see that. So did you ever tell him you weren't happy? Not openly. No. But we stopped having sex months before we divorced. After the baby came, I just didn't feel it anymore. Dang. You stayed with you. Hold on. Dang, he stayed with you and never stepped out? I don't know. I wasn't on the road with him, but I don't think he did. Gerald is a loyal type. So if you got a good man, why do you feel you couldn't work things out? Do you think I should have been with Gerald right now? Come on, easy. I'm just saying, women out here looking for a good dude to marry them. Well, he can go and find a perfect woman for him now that he is free from the wicked and selfish woman that I am. No, that's not what I meant. What I meant to say was, I think you're a beautiful woman. You are definitely a catch, and he was right to swoop you up and marry you. I don't knock him. Maybe you were too much for him, and you got bored with what he didn't have. Some women just need more than a man can give. Okay, I like that. I do feel like even during our honeymoon, we had problems and red flags. I just didn't want to bail on him. He didn't have the money to give me what I wanted and dreamed of. I wanted this grand wedding, but it just didn't happen. He seemed to get mad at me because what we wanted wasn't what he wanted to pay. She went on to say, I mean, weddings are supposed to be last forever. We get married one time. Was it really too much to spend about 20,000 on a wedding? You spent $20,000 on your wedding? Almost more like about 17. I heard weddings can be about 20 to 30,000 for most couples. So you save some money. That's what I thought. The food arrived at the table and the two cheered as Javier poured their second round from the bottle. They smiled and enjoyed each other's company. Javier seemed to know the perfect time to grab Christina's free hand as they discussed their lives. Something about him made her comfortable. They enjoyed a glass of wine while they had dessert. Two of them were stuffed, and he asked if she wanted to go dancing. She replied, I'm so full, I don't feel like doing that. He replied, do you want to go for a walk? I know this nice place. She interrupts him and says, with these shoes, I think you should take me home. I know I'm not supposed to say this, but my feet are killing me. They are new, and these straps feel like they are digging into my skin. Okay, well, let's make an emergency stop at your house and see what you want to do after that. They agreed. He grabbed the check, and the two headed to her house. As a gag, he picked her up, threw her over his shoulders, and brought her to her door. She entered the house and quickly plopped down on the couch to remove her shoes. Okay, so this is the two of them still more or less connecting. As you can see, great. Hi, Jason. How are you doing? Loris, thank you so much for following the live. And Jason, hey, hey. So in this story, up until this point here, as you can see, she is, I would ask this question. How many of you, when you are either looking or at someone you may want to date or you're on a date, you find yourself comparing them to the person you just dated? Does anybody, do you feel like you do that? Do you feel like the women that hit on you or you think about hitting on are like, she don't remind me of so and so?
The last time I dated, 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
no, year and a half ago. I mean, I just see red flags everywhere.
Just a lot of red flags.
Red flags. But I mean, to answer your question, be like, yeah, she reminds me. This individual reminds me of this person, so it's a no.
It's a no.
So it's
Mhm.
a no. So I won't basically give a chance to go further into the dating phase.
Got it.
Because
Mm-hmm.
when you see one red flag, nope, good. That's first impression is everything.
First impressions. Well, asking you
know?
guys too, like if throw parts and likes, if you feel like the Usher song is true, you remind me of a girl that I once knew. He remember he was saying he sees her face every time he looks at her, and this is why they can
Oh
never
yeah.
be anything. I can totally relate to that. Unfortunately, I did have a long term relationship with my one of my well my daughter's father, and it was not a good experience. It was 6 years, like you, on and off, nothing really consistent for those 6 years, but it was consistent, you know, hiatus of my time for 6 years. I'll say I can't speak for
I
his.
mean, this is bad.
This was years back too. Yeah, it's been over 10 years ago now, but yeah, but what I did notice is that I ended up meeting someone that literally wore the same jacket and the same shoes he wore, and I was like, Lord, should I just jump now, like leave this place? Because coffee sounded really good, but now exiting sounds better. And I would even say too, I think one of the things I'm excited about for my current situation in life and everything is I'm excited that I cannot compare him to anything I've experienced before. And I think sometimes when you try,
Yes, though.
when you try things and it didn't work out, and then you get someone who makes you not even care about comparing because there is no comparing.
Comparison is equal joy.
Yeah, it's comparing can be the thief of joy. I think too. Hi, Mrs. Cotton. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you for following, love. So yeah, so when we sometimes meet the person of our dreams or the person we've been waiting on, I don't think it should create that urgency in you to say, oh, he reminds me, or oh, she reminds me. I think they will be so much different than what you've had before because what you've already had didn't work. So if they're just a version of what you had before, probably isn't going to work again because it didn't, that's already been established, right? So one of the things that I was definitely looking for in my current marriage and everything, as I was like, Lord, this man can't be nothing like what I've experienced. Because if he is, that's already, like you said, a red flag. And so, and that is Christina's case too in the book.
And
So,
like me, whenever I say red flag, I let you know up front.
oh, you do? You tell them red flag?
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
y'all verbalize when people are a red flag? I mean, is that
Hey, there's no threat. It's not being mean. Just it's red flag.
how would I would say just like how difficult do you feel it is for people to be honest with their either expectations of someone or if they desire to move forward or not? Do you feel like most people are pretty comfortable to say, hey, this isn't going to work? Or do you feel,
I say it up front, and this not gonna work. We can't move forward. On the basically like on the first date. Yeah.
wow, first date, second date? I'm
Yeah.
not going to lie. So, my
We can't move any further. Can't go. See
Ken
somebody
told
else.
me. Ken was like, okay, so my husband before we got connected, he was single for 13 years, meaning no relationships. He went on dates too, but they were in quite quickly. And some of the things he said had me rolling laughing. Some of y'all probably had one date because the person you went on the date with was already married.
Yeah.
And on the date, they're like, yeah, I'm married. And he was like, what do you mean you married? If you married, should you even be on the date? And some people have different, relationship.
She know they spouse.
No, some of them have open relationships, so they can have other relationships in addition to their marriage. So
Wow.
nowadays, you have to ask
I
the
better
right
not get
question.
cheated. I better not get cheated. You gonna get left.
Right.
Be single. You want me or not?
I'm telling you, no, if you don't want an open relationship nowadays, you got to say a lot of this stuff because a lot of people think anything, for some people, things like that can go.
Hey, I'm putting a restraint on the person. When you gonna stay? I have a lease on you.
That's too much.
Ain't
Now,
too
one
much.
thing that Jacob did say, he said he was gonna have to date somebody almost till forever, like 10 years. Yep,
It is, yo.
that is too long. Y'all will be old. No, nobody have. That's like old. That's just messed up. How many of y'all feel like there should be a proper time or a time limit for how long you date someone before you consider marrying them or pursuing a relationship? I would be curious to know your thoughts. You can throw a heart, a like. To let
Out
me
of
know.
10 years.
Nobody got 5 to 10 years. We could have built stuff, moved on. Some people's marriages don't even last that long, 5 to 10 years. So they could have already started over. And I'm just kidding. I pray y'all married.
I probably over exaggerating, so I'll probably get on that side though, because I know
What's the honest answer?
I can say about 2 3 years.
Okay.
I think that's over exaggerated.
I'm just gonna be
You know,
looking
about,
at you
about
when
two
you
or
tell
three
me.
years.
Yeah, I decided. Oh, you decided. How long did it take? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we know when someone's not going to work, but we try to convince ourselves for the rest of the time that it can work when we already know it's not going to. Now, every relationship is going to have problems, no matter how ideal you guys are for each other. There's always going to be that challenge. And that's not what should scare you. What should scare you is can you work together? Can you build? Can you talk? Can you get through a problem? Can you get through a disagreement? Or a difference of opinion. I think a difference of opinion is even more stronger than a disagreement because a lot of people just think differently on stuff. And if you don't have a way of embracing each other's differences, then yeah, that probably isn't going to be a good relationship because you two have to be able to connect, even if the world doesn't agree with you or with something your spouse says, you have to still live with them. So you got to find a way to love them through, these types of transitions too. And so I would definitely, encourage that. Now, this book is not necessarily X-rated, but there are moments in this that definitely presses the envelope. So, if you do like a book that doesn't go into like, what is smut, but does have a level of honestly just intimacy for example, I think kissing could be intimacy. There's so many ways to create that energy and this book is definitely done tastefully. So if you are not a person that wants, full blown scenes, it's not in this book. So you can still be able to grab the book and enjoy the story. Um, Do you want to read this part, or do you prefer just to skip it? We're probably gonna skip
Let me
it.
say, let me
But
say
it's a
something.
little saucy.
No,
It
let
is
me
a
tell you
little
something.
saucy,
When
but nothing crazy. Nothing too
no,
crazy.
no, no, this not untrue and everything. This untrue. I was ready to do that. I said, Crystal, sister. Like when I first got this book and whatever, I said, I know this not in this book. I do not like reading stuff like that.
Yeah, but as you can see, it didn't have anything too crazy. It was nothing. It was nothing about body parts being bare. Nothing crazy. So if you want something, honestly, that it's good. It's clean. It's still very
I
clean.
mean,
So
you write a book, and I'll let you read
yeah, we're gonna skip this for the sake of those that might be uncomfortable. But I'm telling you, there's nothing in here that is like incredibly like like X-rated or anything like that. This one is not it. Now I do have some books based on people's lives that you got to tell their stories, and their stories are not necessarily PG-13 stories, but I do put disclaimers on those books so that people know that it's in there.
Yeah, well, I was about to skip the whole chapter. Rest of the chapter. For real, though, even though you don't lay down, I was about to say, but it's just like, man, I'm like, I know. I'm about to skip this. Should I read the rest of the book?
That's funny. That is funny. I'm telling y'all, that's funny.
That's a
Oh
good
my.
novel. It's a good novel there, but it's a good novel though for sure. But we'll get to the point like, so I read this.
I do understand. I'm the type of person. I'm weird. I actually cover my eyes for like, like I don't watch sex scenes in movies. I fast forward. I don't watch like extended kiss scenes. I don't really see I need that. I get it. If they did this and this, I know what it leads to. So I just, say I think certain things you can allude to without actually going through the motion.
I need to keep my eyes closed.
So I, so, and I did keep this book to be very, I think, respectable of that. Um, I think too what I wanted to show though. So you might say, well, Crystal, why write this if it could be uncomfortable for certain people to read it. What I wanted to write was what it feels like to have a real connection with someone. Meaning, when you have been devoid for months, years, or whatever, and no one's ever touched your hand, and someone touches your hand, for someone that is enough intimacy for them to have a whole experience. Whereas other people who have been highly stimulated, touching their hand won't really do much. It won't really take them too many places. But when people have never kissed each other and then they hold each other's hands, it's like a Korean drama. You don't have to see all of the other developments to see the growing of a relationship or a connection. And obviously, some of these connections are not birthed in the greatest sense, which Christina learns. But sometimes we just have to be willing to reconnect with our sensitivities again. Because when we are heartbroken or things don't go the way we plan, we can desensitize ourselves to the things that honestly were created by God for us to enjoy. And so, what we don't want is to be so good at suppressing ourselves that we can't express ourselves in any kind of way because we're like, oh no, 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 no. And then when it's time to, you don't know how to hold a hand. I know some women that won't hold anyone's hand. I think that's sad because that's one of the ways that people can be intimate with each other without, sexual intimacy, but just intimacy. I think kisses can be, just as endearing and make someone want to marry you. I know some people might say, well, you don't need that first. You don't have to like test drive it all. No. My husband and I, we got engaged without kissing or doing anything. So I think sometimes when we put too much emphasis on physical touch and intimacy, especially sexual intimacy, you can miss some of the best parts of getting to know somebody. And you can miss some of the sensitivities you can learn through taking your time. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to show in chapter 8. And there is.
Listen, when I got to that part, I said, I don't know if I read this rest of the chapter. And I did skip it. So I don't know what's all this about anyway. So
Oh, really?
yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
Well, in case y'all wondering, the name of the book is We Expect the Grip, Not the Downpour. This is the book for October because this is one of those cozy, sit in your house, read it books to yourself. There is no nothing too crazy in the book, but it definitely is one for those that may be single may have jumped out of a relationship and is just looking for a good read, right? One that has enough of romance in it, but not necessarily a full chummy chummy type of book because it's not that. It's not a love story per se, but there is love in it. And so, if you want a book that will be able to kind of honestly give you the drama you want, give you a little bit of action, because there's a couple of fighting scenes in here, it's good. And then, of course, the police got to show up in a good novel, right? So, yeah, they're in here. And then, let's see what else. Because I know it's almost 8:30, so 8:30 is when we kind of wrap this part of the book club, and then I'm gonna talk about some other books for those of you who are still on. I'm gonna cover some of those. But yeah, so I definitely encourage you to check out this book. Right now, we're up to chapter 8. There are about what is it, 20 chapters in the book. So this is not even halfway through the book, and we've already went through a couple of relationships, couple of dates, couple of saucy moments. So got Jacob blushing on the book. He didn't even read this part. That's hilarious.
I promise you, man. When I said no, I'm about to see the rest of this chapter. That's about it. So I don't know what the rest of this chapter is about.
I do understand. I have movies where I completely skip scenes, where I miss everything in there.
Like, how did you actually write this book?
What do you mean?
It's like,
okay, that's my question. Do some people
I
feel?
mean,
Hey, Sabrina, thank you so much for checking out this book. I'm telling you, it's really, really good. Do you feel like being a Christian author that you have to filter real characters a to fit through a Christian filter? How many of y'all by likes or hearts or question comments? I would love, love, love to see that. Okay. How many of you feel that way?
that's a good question because I know in my book though it's a strong language in there. My relationship chapter called relationships and everything, and it's like, dang, should I really put this in this book? You know?
So as an author, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all my perspective. So I have 50 books. 50 books. You can click on the purse and go to my shop and all that. But with the 50 books that I've completed, now I'm starting to get into books that are based on real people's lives. And what I realized is if we only picture the perfection of a person's life and don't show the road to get there, then most people don't see themselves at the end of the road. They see themselves somewhere in the middle or even before the road even started. So, for example, even if you look at a person like Rahab in the Bible, I mean, she was a prostitute. How you going to write her story through a Christian filter? What are you going to say? She worked in the dark? No, that's not what she did. She was a prostitute. So she did what prostitutes do. So how else am I going to write her story and not make it fake? Than to actually tell the story the way it is. And guess what? People who may live that life or have lived it, their mom lived it, or they lived it, or their sister lived it, they'll be able to appreciate an organic story that is still very Christian, but it's also very real. And it shows how the Father can reach into these lives too. Because not everybody looks like, you know what I'm saying? Like this nice, flowery, cute little story in life. Most of us come from mess. I mean, I know I did. I can tell you some things about my life. You like, dang, that's real? Yeah, girl. You wouldn't even, sir, you wouldn't believe me if I told you it was, you wouldn't believe me. So I have people in my family who literally got married to a pastor who believed he deserved to have multiple wives like King David. They all lived in the same house. He beat them with extension cords when they didn't do what they were supposed to do. I mean, this is like pimp moves, but
That's
he's a
slavery.
pastor.
That's slavery, though.
Now this is supposed to be a preacher man.
That's a slave master.
But out of this same man's mouth, he says, even if I was the devil, will you ladies follow me? And these ladies said yes, like they were witches in a convent. So I'm saying, so I'm putting out a book called Dark Queen. And I'm writing this book because this stuff is real. I know a lot of people are like, that stuff isn't real, baby. I got stories. And these are not made up. Some of these stories are not fake. You know, they are based and inspired on real events. So I want to encourage us, you know, as believers, as a body of Christ, as individuals, you know, this is one thing AI has a jump on us. AI is learning reality better than us and feeding us artificial intelligence to show us how to live life. That should be very intimidating. And that's because we all have mastered this political correctness that is actually damaging humanity because none of us are really who we're supposed to be. But who you were born to be, it needs to be here. People need to see you because what you bring, the world needs. The Father didn't put you on earth just so that people can put you in a box and make you look like or conform to what everybody else is. If you think differently, if you're autistic, if you are what's the word? It's a word we use that basically means like uh it's at the tip of my tongue, but it basically means like the people that can see stuff upside down and read it, people that can read stuff backwards, and what's that word? It's a word for it, but it's slipping my mind. But for people dyslexic, they call it dyslexia when you can do things in different orders. But these are some of the most brilliant people in the world. I mean, the guy who made Webster's dictionary would be considered dyslexia or dyslexic. Some people that have done a lot of stuff in science, they had to think different because they had to challenge the status quo. So, how are you ever going to, see something new or experience something new if what you're doing is the same old, same old? I thought God was big. Well, we make God look real small when all we can offer to the world is the same things, you know what I'm saying, that everybody else is doing. And so that's why I encourage you to tell your stories. And no, not exploit yourselves. Okay. Don't exploit yourself and give out all your business. But if you are writing your story, find what you're comfortable with sharing, especially based on your vision and your purpose. So if your purpose is to tell your story to help other people, make sure your story is knowing that. If your story is to honestly just express yourself, then it doesn't have to be every single detail that really happened, but it does have to be what you want people to get out of it and tell them what you would like to see them accomplish or do going forward. Okay. So you want to answer your why statement, or why am I writing the book? Why do I want someone to pick it up? What are they going to get out of it? And so as you start going, and that's true even if you're doing novels. I know sometimes people will say, well, this isn't real. That's fine. But when you go and watch a really good movie, don't you want people to come away with key concepts? I'm sure the director did. I'm sure the writer did. I'm sure actors do. And so all of them have things they want you to get. And as the author, you get to direct all of those perspectives. You get to direct the lens for what people see to help people to filter, the author or the character's thoughts. And so you help these actors essentially portray your stories and your ideas, and you can underline them. And the more you realize how much power you have as a writer, the more you can honestly be creative in your expression. And right, so,
Writing is therapy.
writing is therapy. I tell people that all the time.
I got a book coming out in December. I will have another one next year.
So yeah,
that's the goal.
I would say too, writing books and publishing can be addictive. When I first started,
it's a good addition though.
It is healthy. I do think it can be very, very healthy.
Right. Most definitely.
Most definitely. So yeah. So I want to just make sure I mention this before we kind of like segue here a little bit. So if you have been in the process of wanting to write and publish your book, and honestly, you are in that phase where, yes, Crystal, I've been trying to write, I've been wanting to do this, but I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm in the early phases. Maybe I started writing. This book right here is my process for how I write and publish all of my books. And I've done 50. I've done children's books, I've done novels, I've done plays, I've done poetry, I've done self help, I've done spiritual empowerment, I've done Bible studies, all kinds of stuff. And the truth is, they all start with this. Okay.
That's like a $700 value right there. Like $85. Can't really beat that.
No, so
a deal.
No, and what I want to do too is I want to make sure you know how to use this guide. Okay. If you want to know how to use the guide, I give you the consultation free. Okay. And the consultation with me is normally $156.
Come
But
on.
when you get the books,
Spend that 156, y'all.
and you ain't even got to do the 156. You can get the book for 85 in the shop. And once you get it, I will make sure you're able to reach out to me to get that free consultation. Okay. So you'll know how to use this. And you might say, well, what's in it? And I'm going to answer. Stoney had a question real quick. What is a lie you told yourself to stay comfortable when you knew the truth demanded change? That's a good one. I'm all right. People will say, are you okay? Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. And we say we all right because we're trying to project this I'm all right into our lives because we know that our words have power, right? Now the issue is what happens if you don't believe your words? So in this book, I'm gonna share this real quick too. I know I talked about Embrace Your Crown at the beginning, but in case you guys missed it, and Embrace Your Crown, this purple book here, this one right here, I talk about, my bad, y'all. I kind of tapped this too far. In this book right here, I talk about your wants and desires, right? And it's real easy to say, oh, this is what I want, or this is what I desire, and this is what I think about, or this is what I believe for. But then when you start looking at what you're doing, it's not really matching. And if you're honest, what you're saying isn't matching up with what you're doing. So you might say, well, I'm all right, but you're looking frantic. You cannot focus. You honestly stay locked in your room all day. You do stuff that looks more like depression or more like anxiety, or you're uneasy. You're not really you. And people who love you are like, yo, you a little different. Are you sure you all right? And you're like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm all right. I'm all right. And what it really is you trying to shut your gates. You're trying to shut gates, and when you shut these gates, you think you're saving yourself. I mean, I remember all these things in this book I did. I really did. And I was real good at it. I think sometimes when we are heartbroken, we don't realize we're heartbroken. And if we are, we don't know how to change it. So then the best thing we do is try to protect ourselves because we know we're wounded because something's not right, but we don't know how to fix it. So that's why this book is Open Seven Gates to Find and Overcome Heartbreak. Because it's not enough to know you're heartbroken. It's everything to know how to what come out of it. And so when I started looking at how I looked at time, and I didn't mind letting other people waste my time because I saw the value in them, but I didn't see the value in me. So I was letting people waste my time. And I'm sitting up here trying to fix their lives when my life was messed up too. Or I'm waiting and I'm dating someone for 6 years and I know it ain't gonna work. I'm telling myself and they telling themselves this ain't gonna work. But I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wait. What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for that they're not willing to wait for because they're moving on to other people and everything, and I'm the one waiting. So I realized that was a lie. I told myself I'm all right, so I can wait, or because I know I'm strong, I'll do what you won't do. No, I shouldn't be doing that. Why should your time be more valuable than mine? I mean, that's not the way a healthy relationship works. And so I had to re-identify my purpose, which is in here. I had to understand I was too patient. Some of us say, "Oh, I just need to be patient." Some of y'all, you are way too patient. You're so patient. If you were more patient, you would basically have no boundaries. You would have zero boundaries. Um, at one point, I was so good at coming up with excuses for other people's failures because I knew how to overcome them by doing more than they ever did. I started to, yes, I became a great consultant because of it. I knew how to seek out problems, solve them, fix them, and everything. Made me great in business, made me terrible in relationships. So I realized not everything we learn from our heartbreak is necessarily a bad thing, but we do need to redirect it so it doesn't destroy our lives. Another thing too, patterns, the patterns you create, your wants and desires I spoke about, your atmosphere. Oh my goodness, who is in your atmosphere? Who are you listening to? Who are you talking to? Who are you allowing to honestly direct you being all right? Because some people don't mind you being uneasy and anxious and not sure of yourself. Some people like you in this mode because you tend to go along to be, to get along. But that's not the way a real relationship should work. They should value your opinion just as much as you value theirs. It should be a healthy exchange. And if it's not, then you really want to look at that atmosphere. And then your lifestyle ultimately is also in here. I talk about that because our lifestyles, I know sometimes we might feel like this is just who I am. And so when we are closing these gates in our lives, we will say, well, oh, I'm not going to love again, or I'm not going to date again. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to let nobody hurt me. And we think we're saving ourselves in doing this, but you're really delaying yourself. Because the honest truth is, you want to be married. You just don't want to be married to any random body. You want to be married to what you're looking for. So I had to learn when I said I was all right when I wasn't all right, that I had to be patient with me and not necessarily be patient with everyone else or my circumstances per se, because sometimes my circumstances were already past due for changing. And so you'll have to look to see what parts of your life are honestly past due and start making the changes to make you all right. And then when I started realizing I can be a part of my own progress, I never looked back. I realized I had to overcome unbelief because I struggled with believing some things about myself and what God said about me. Because it's easy to know God is good, but it's hard to see God good for me. I know I'm messed up. I know I don't deserve. I know, you see what I'm saying? So when we start seeing those things, then it could be hard for us to get past the unbelief. So now we know, we see where our heartbreak was, and we're learning how to overcome that. But now we're bumping up against, well, I don't know if I believe this part. And so that's why I came out with the second book, because you got to know that you're worthy. I know some people would say, well, you think you're all that? Yeah, I do. I really do. I do. There was a time where I would have never said yes. I would have been like, no, I'm okay. I'm all right. No, I believe that now. And you got to believe that too. You got to overcome some of these, yes, limiting beliefs, but and when I say limiting beliefs, the things that limit who you are, the things that make you want less than you should have. And I used to say, oh, I have, these children, or I have this, I have that. I probably won't get married until they're grown. This is stuff I told myself. And then the Father showed me, your limits are not my limits. What are you doing? If you say you want to get married, trust me, let me help you. I think sometimes we're afraid to allow people that are sent in our lives to help us because we don't believe we deserve it or we can afford it. And don't do that. Don't put those limits on the Father's abilities. And then ultimately, I had to focus on what I really value, because the world will tell you what's valuable. They'll tell you, oh, you know what? You're wasting your time on that. Why don't you get real? Why don't you pick somebody in your caliber? Why don't, maybe I'm not waiting. Maybe I'm going to wait, like get to the caliber I want to find the man I want. Because if the man's over there, that means what? The Father going to have to carry me over there. If I can't walk, if I can't run, if I can't fly, or do a boat or something, then I'm trusting the Father to get me there by any means. I end up meeting, what I'm saying, the love of my life working. Okay, I had my own booth, focusing on my own business, my children, and what I do. And he was doing what he did, and we ended up meeting. Our paths crossed because we were both being obedient to what we were supposed to do. So don't think being obedient to what you're supposed to do, you're going to miss a blessing. It's actually the opposite. The Bible says obedience is greater than sacrifice. So if you're out here sacrificing your time, sacrificing on these apps, and it's leading you to all these dead roads, he's been catfished so many times with people saying, remember we was talking about being catfished earlier this year? What book were we reading? Over the fact?
He opened the fact. Open the fact. That's
So,
all. That's all. Do that online dating. Nope.
yeah. So he
Nope.
gave up
Don't know.
online dating, y'all.
Don't know who behind that screen now.
But I want to tell you,
Could be talking to an animal, so you never know.
it was funny. Oh my goodness, he had me rolling laughing. But yeah, so if you tired of being catfished, if you tired of meeting people that say one thing and they honestly don't live
So
none of
many
it,
he she's out there.
okay, or that too. So I want to encourage you. You got to get focused, and when you get focused, it makes the enduring easier. Right? It allows you to put it all on the table, which is one of the chapters. It allows you to remember what you did before, because you got here for a reason, right? You're out of a relationship. You made it out of that business. You started where you are. You're writing your book because these are the things that are advancing you. You are now happier now, or you're in a better mental or physical space. So all of these things are relevant. So allow yourself to grow. Okay. Allow yourself to explore. And that's what I would definitely say. Those are the things that not only I told myself, but how I got out of what I was telling me, or I made what I was telling me reality. There's nothing wrong with seeing somewhere you want to be, but the question is, are you going to work towards getting there? And if you don't know the road, that's what I did the Embrace Your Crown series for. It's to help you to connect the dots to get to where you want to be and make it make sense. Okay. Now I know I mentioned this real quick. If you are looking to definitely be mentored on these three books, because there are three books. They're all in the shop. Of course, you can buy them that way. But if you say, Crystal, I want you to help me, honestly, to digest these three books, then I encourage you to join my mentor program. Okay. In this mentor program, I would take you through all three of these books, and we're not doing it in a hurry. Okay. So that means we spend 2 months in each of the books. Okay. So it's about 8 weeks for each book. And I'm going to make sure that you understand the concepts, the gates, so you know how to do this yourself. So I am a certified transformational coach. I am an ordained minister and chaplain, but I don't have a whole lot of time, to work with people one-on-one as a coach. So I do my mentorship programs to allow me to do that. I do a lot of coaching for free. Every first Sunday, I do the Embrace Your Crown first Sunday event at 4 p.m. Eastern, which I encourage you all to come to. It will allow you to understand these three books, okay, and see how relatable they all are, okay. Now, if you know what I'm saying, that is something that can bless you, I encourage you to do so. You can, of course, DM me your name, email, phone number if you want to go into the mentorship program. You will get the packet that I shared with you guys earlier that will show you how we're going to go through these three books. And honestly, the transformation you can, start to look forward to. Life doesn't have to be crazy always. Okay. So this is what you'll see in the welcome packet. Yes, I believe in color. I love color, y'all. I'm the color queen. Y'all want color? That's what I'm gonna give you.
Like the legal document page.
Oh yeah, I don't play. I don't mess around. This is your life. So yeah, so I show you how we're going to transform over these 8 weeks, or essentially over the 6 months. I also to take you through what who I created the group for. I created the group for kingdom builders. These are people that honestly are in their communities, are in their businesses, churches, organizations, taking care of everybody, right? But what happens when you need someone to help take care of you? That's what I do this. I want to make sure that there's something pouring back into you. Royals, these are people that are managers. These are mothers, fathers, people that are teaching other people. Knights, these are people that are intercessors. These are people that pray for everybody. These are people that feed their neighborhoods or volunteer frequently. These are people that are naturally givers. I'm a giver too. And I know as givers, we can feel like we're being taken advantage of, especially when people are not pouring back into us. And so I do first Sundays for you. Okay. And then especially invited guests are people that honestly, the world is upside down. It could be upside, inside, all that. If you feel like life has been that way or is that way, I want to encourage you that this program and what I do in this every first Sunday is free. If you grab the books, it'll help you honestly to dive deeper into the material and the content. And if you want to join the mentorship program, you'll see me more often. Weekly, we have different activities, text messages that go out to you just to help you honestly to stay current in the check-ins and all that good stuff. Of course, we break down the concepts from all the books inside the packet so you'll know what we're going to be doing each module or each session. So yeah, so you can grab the books in the shop.
I should grab them books, y'all. Grab
So
them
yeah,
now.
so they're all here. So if you want to grab these books, I encourage you grab all three. If you grab all three, I will also send you this packet complimentary, and I will allow you to consider if you want to join the group. And if you do, you can stay in the group. And if it's not something you need or that one session is good, then great. All right. My thing is to add value. So if you grab all three, I will definitely do that. Hey, Seven, how you doing? So good to have you back. All right. So I don't know if anybody has questions for me right now. If you have questions, if you are pursuing your book journey, let me know. Throw up some hearts. I would love to give you some tips real quick. If you are in the process of launching your business, I know I mentioned some things in that nature already. If you are coming out with your book, I would love to hear about that as well. Now, one thing I want to the guy next to you he has a strong aura. Yeah, he does. This is Jacob. Jacob is my baby brother.
Strong arms.
Aura, energy.
Oh,
You're so
okay.
funny.
I'm like, oh, okay.
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 He talking about his muscles. Lord. No, he's not talking about your muscles, Jay. um, but yeah, so I definitely encourage you to stay on the journey. I know it might seem hard in the beginning to go through. He's laughing at you. He's like, LOL.
Man, life is good for the soul.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Laughing is awesome. And I want to let you guys know if you want this book, I do give this book away for free. And so, if you would like to definitely grab this free book, it is my Call to Pray series. This first book is given away for free. Okay. If you want the digital copy, just send me your email and your name, and I will send you this book for free. Okay. I believe in showing you what the Father has done through me and with me, and what I believe He can do for you too. Okay. So, if right now life is cray, and you need help, I want to let y'all know. Praise Yeshua. You got it, girl. Praise Yeshua, God Almighty, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, because He is. Okay. So I want to show people, whether you believe or not, how you can honestly invite the Father into your life to taste Him and know that He is good. Right? The Bible says the prayers of the righteous availeth much. And so in these prayers, it is definitely essentially me praying with you and praying over you, especially if you are not yet there. This will definitely help. So this is a good explanation of a call to pray. We updated the book. As you can see, this is now inside the book.
That's good.
So there has been a lot of good things for this series. This series has really ramped up a lot. Love that you guys use His true name, Yahweh, Yehoshua, Yahuwah. We do. So yeah, so in this one also, I want to let you guys know if you have been asking questions about salvation, wanting to understand sin, or the seven abominations, the seven deadly sins. I take you through these, right? Did you know money is the root to all evil, so it should be free, right? Let's be clear. The love of money, right? You see, the love of money is definitely because it leads to greed, to murder, to slander, to strife. It leads to things. Money in and of itself is not evil. Currency is not evil. The Bible even says the money is the answer to all things. Right. But there are things that go beyond materialistic things. The love of money, that's the key. The love of money. You got to read some of these things in their intentions. Yeah, greed is definitely cultivated in the love of money. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, but I got love for all those who walk a righteous path. I understand that. So yeah, so in this is just honestly pointing to what is the standard? What is the standard of life? Is pride wrong? Pride is always gonna be wrong. Is greed gonna be wrong? Always. Lust? Mm-hmm. So these are not concepts that are out there because the Bible says he will write his word on every man's heart so that no one can say they don't know it. So if he wrote it because he means it, and he's not afraid, to challenge anyone's questions or thoughts or ideas. If people want to honestly be saved, I want to make sure I express what salvation is because I've heard the Romans road and all that, and yes, that could be used as definitely people's road. But I would even say I would want people to know really what salvation is, which is allowing the Father to rewrite how you think, how you reason, how you trust Him, how you have a will to live or even to die. Some of us are honestly needing the Father to save us from ourselves. That song by Leandra Johnson, what is it? Uh, what is it? I've heard it so many times. I've seen her perform twice in the last 2 weeks. Leandra Johnson. All I seem to do is hurt me. Take me to the king. That is Yolanda. You are off. Don't listen. Do not listen to him. No, that's Tamala Man. Take me to the king. All the way wrong. But anyway, we're gonna leave him out of each selection. But what we are going to say is the Father is great. So let me tell y'all some of the prayers in the book because that's what's really important. So yeah, so if you or someone you know and you love is struggling with these areas, again, get the book free. Okay, you can DM me and your name and email, and I will send you the book free. Okay, you don't have to buy it. If you choose to buy it, I do want to let you know what this does. When you buy one book, you get the whole digital series for free, which means I will email you every new book that comes out in the series for free. Okay. Spend that $23 now. So yeah, so if you do support this book series, I will make sure you get all 12 books because there are 365 prayers, and so each book that we're able to sell, it allows us to publish the next book. And the second part, the second book she done did, she did in less than 5 hours. So the next one is done. It got finished last Monday. So now we are pushing out book two. So thank y'all for those that have been buying this book because you made book two possible. Right. And then of course, if you want to buy the whole collection, all 12 books, you will also get the video or the audio copies to the book absolutely free. Okay, so this is how we are able to get more stuff out there. Our goal is to bring the word of Yah God, the power of it, to all people who need Him. Okay, so yeah, so let me tell you what prayers are in this book, and if you need the Father to intervene in your life or someone you love, grab the book. It's free. Just DM me if you want to buy it. I thank you in advance. It will allow me to get more people to this book, and we're going to translate it, y'all, in 5 languages. So right now we're in English, but we're looking at Portuguese. We're looking at uh, Portuguese, English, Spanish, German, and French. So if you are looking or you know people in these that speak these languages, you buying the book helps us to get there. All right. So the first one is if. If you're between a rock and a hard place, this is a great prayer to pray. Okay. Direction. If you are looking for direction for your life, for your family, for all kinds of things, great prayer. Confusion. The Bible says the Father is not the author of confusion. Okay. So if you are confused, I want to show you how the Father can honestly point you in the right direction. If you have been feeling defeated, okay, I want to let you know He doesn't give you the spirit of defeat, but He gives you the ability to show up and to show out and to be able to answer the things that the Father has for you. Okay. Heartbreak. If you are dealing with a broken heart, I want to let you know that the Father is more than able to mend your heart, to heal you from the inside out. So if this has been something you've been living with, if this is honestly dragging on you, if you can't sleep at night, okay, I want you to honestly pray these prayers over your life. Allow them to make you lighter. The Bible says those who are heavy laden, those who are honestly dealing with heavy burdens, he can give you rest. He can exchange what you got going on and give you something greater. All right. If you're dealing with anger, okay, if you're throwing stuff, if you're getting road rage, if you are honestly dealing with anger, honestly, you're angry about different things. Sometimes righteous anger is real, but if it is out of control, we need to get it in control because that is not the spirit of God. Okay. So we want to show you how to rid yourself of that spirit. All right. Frustration. If you're dealing with frustration, you're so mad, you're like screaming and pulling your hair and stuff like that. Yeah, we need to get rid of that. Okay. We need to show you how to calm your spirit. All right. Loneliness is real, right? Loneliness is not just because you're by yourself. Loneliness is a spirit of loneliness. It brings heaviness with it. It brings sickness. It makes you low. Okay. So if you're feeling that, I want to help you get lighter. Abuse. The Father is not sent here to abuse you. And if he's not abusing you, no one else should. No one should abuse you physically, mentally, socially, psychologically, financially, okay, sexually. This prayer covers all of those type of abuses. All right. So if you are going through it, I want to let you know the Father has an answer. He has a prayer for you. Okay. Betrayal. Betrayal is real. Even the Messiah was betrayed by Judas. So he understands it. He understands you. He understands those who betrayed you. He understands how to deliver you from the pain you feel. He wants to help you release the pain. His favorite book.
Yes, indeed.
Divorce. If you are going through a divorce, if you've been through a divorce, I want this prayer to help bless you. I've went through 2 divorces, if I'm honest, and honestly, I cannot tell you how I would have made it through without the power of prayer. Okay, marriage. If you want to be married, okay, I have a prayer in here for being married. I have another one in here if you're single and this is where you're at. This is where the Father has you. I encourage you to read that one. If patience is on the horizon, you need it or you've been praying for it, here's a prayer for you. If you are parenting, you have children, I want to pray for you. Finances, or if you want children. Finances, if you are having blessings or if you're struggling there, I want to help you. If you need help, I know I prayed this help prayer, y'all, and I got Jacob. So Jacob prayed for help and he got me. He prayed for a book club and here we are doing a book club.
And one year later, I said, wow, look at
So
God.
some things take time. Okay. So don't think because they didn't manifest overnight or in a month or in 6 months or a year that the
Patience,
Father forgot.
patience is key, though.
It is. It is.
Patience is key. Sometimes I gotta ask God, thank you for the thing I asked for that you're gonna bless me with.
For sure.
Hmm.
Then there's encouragement, right? So if you need encouragement, even King David had to encourage himself. So if you need that, I want to encourage you with this prayer. Spiritual growth. If you know, Lord, I honestly need more of you. I don't even know what else I need because I don't know. If you're there, I get it. I get it. I was there too. And so I encourage you to have that prayer. Breaking patterns. If you need to break patterns in your life, addictions and stuff like that. I do have a prayer of addiction in another book, but breaking patterns is of the same. Okay. Children. If you have children, how to pray over them before they leave your house because there's a lot of stuff in the world. There's a lot of stuff online. So how do you cover your children? Spouses, if you are married, I want to give you a prayer that you can honestly pray in your marriage for your spouse. If you are taking care of your parents, I want to acknowledge your honestly incredible sacrifice, but I also want to encourage you that the Father sees what you're doing for them. Okay. So when we are the hands and feet of Christ, it matters. All right. So I want to encourage you. Death. Death is real. People are living, people are dying, people are passing away.
Get life insurance too, y'all.
Life insurance is helpful. I'm not gonna, it definitely
Your
is.
legacy moment explains it all.
He's so cute. So yeah,
There's 5,000 free gifts in this book.
it is.
Only $20, I believe.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
book is.
$20.
He's right. He's so funny. So yeah, it's in my shop, guys. If you want to grab that book,
Or
that book,
legacy moment. That's what they call
it is incredible. But and we give away $5,000 in free gifts. So
like
that's
I
what
just
you're
said,
saying.
$5,000 free gift.
It isn't, yes, and you
For
don't.
$20, come on, that's a good
It's
business
true.
right there.
And then you can share the QR codes in the book with anybody, and they can get the free stuff there. Just so you know. Another one, despair. So if you're dealing with despair, I want to encourage you. If you're dealing with sexual sexuality. So sexuality is dealing with all kinds of stuff. This is the longest prayer in the book. And when I say longest, I mean this prayer is almost going past 8 pages. Okay. So these prayers are not the short, oh, thank you, Jesus, for today. Prayerfully everybody's good. Have a nice life. They don't go like that. These are for people who are honestly going through spiritual warfare for sure. People that are honestly wanting to be, you need to be broke free. Okay. So if you're dealing with a sexual sin or a sexual problem or deviance or whatever, I want to let you know it's in here. If one of these two, if y'all want one of these prayers, let me know which
that's
one
the
you want to
main
hear
thing.
too.
That's one song. That's the main thing I'm gonna be speaking on in the future.
It's a powerful
It's,
prayer. It
it's,
really is.
it's deep though.
I know it's real easy.
But your verse from roots though, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I know it's real easy to look at people's outcomes and judge them and send them to hell and try to condemn them. But that's not even what the father did. When he saw the lady at the well, he said, the man you with now ain't even your husband. You know what I'm saying? Some of us have married wrong many times. Some of us are honestly in love with people because of other people that should have loved us never did. Some of us have been abused, so we choose to love the same sex. Some of us felt like this is what we should be liking because it's what we're used to. Some of us are not convinced that marriage is possible, so we settle for sexual relationships that are devoid of any real love or any real connection. And so this is also a sexuality issue. So it's not just homosexuality, it's so many other things. And then you got to ask yourself the question, how did you get there? And so I want to definitely encourage those that are battling or having thoughts or challenges in this area to know that there is a prayer for you in this book. Sin is a real thing. I mean, a sin problem, it can be so many things. Obviously, sin is a lot of stuff. So I want to encourage you, if you're dealing with a sin issue, this book can definitely help you pray through it. Okay. Yes, it will. Character. All right. If you are struggling with your attitude, if you know you got a bad attitude, or people have told you, man, you need to check your attitude.
Check yourself.
That probably might mean you may want to invite the father to honestly, because usually when we have a character flaw, it's not just because we want to be difficult, right? It's usually because something has hurt us, something has damaged us. So we are honestly responding. Okay. So if you want to come out of that fight mode, then you have to get to a point where you're in rest, right? So if you never get to the point where you can rest, then you're going to what? You're going to be combative. You're going to be angry. You're going to be feisty. You're going to be sometimes hard to listen, but quick to talk. You're going to feel like you got to fight. And so if you're in this fight mode, I want to show you how you can come out of fight mode and honestly get into a place of rest. And so that's what that prayer is going to help you do. And then lastly, it's for family. Okay. So we all have families. And so if your desire is to cover your family in prayer and things like that, I want to encourage you with the book. Okay. So again, the book is free. If you need it and doing the $20 is not what you can do or want to do, it's okay. If you do buy the physical book, you will get all the digital books for free for the next 12 books. And that's basically a value of $40. Okay. The digital copies are normally $3 if you get them, on my site. But here we do the physical books, or we give you the ebook for free for the first book. Okay, so you don't have to buy the first one to get the first one, but the rest of the series, the downloads do cost $3 a unit. All right, so if you buy one book, any book from the series, you will get the whole digital series for free. Okay, so this is our way of telling you thank you. If you do buy all the physical books, you will get all of the videos, the audios that I will be doing to support the series. Okay, so it's just my way of thanking you. Do you buy prayers? No, you do not. No, you do not. But you are buying paper. Okay, we're putting this on paper. So if you're wondering, well, what am I doing? Why would I buy it? It's the paper, babe. It's not we don't buy the Father's influence. Okay, so I don't want you to feel that's what I'm doing, because it's not. That's not my heart in doing this. It's really so that I can translate the book and get it into more languages, countries, and really help people. As a chaplain, this is like something I wanted to do as a chaplain, to give back. Because how many of y'all know, as a chaplain, you go to a lot of funerals. You can go to weddings as a minister, because I'm a minister. But how can I feel comfortable with marrying people and then I leave them and I know they don't have God in their relationship? Or I know when they hit a rough patch, they are going to fight, because we do. When we don't have something that can bring two people together that are at odds, there has to be something to bring you in the middle. And God is He's the greatest thing to bring us in the middle. So the books are gifts that I give and all kinds of stuff. So yes, if you're looking for gifts to give for Christmas, these are really good books to support. Again, if you buy the book, you get the whole digital series, even if you choose to give the physical book away. If you buy all 12 books, you will definitely get all 12 audios, all 12 digital books, and all kinds of stuff. Okay. And I thank you. I thank you. For those that are going to buy the physical books. Okay. In the shop right now, I believe there are 5 of these. So if you are wanting to definitely support the series, please feel free to get one. They do come signed by me, and you will inside the book are QR codes that other people can scan to get the free digital copies. Okay. So and that's one of the things. And you can also see the complete series on the page. I'm real excited again for what this book has been doing and how much it's changed. I went to a gospel concert this past weekend, and I was giving away the free digital books, and I was showing them, this is the book you'll get for free. It's the digital copy. And the lady was like, "Can I just buy the book?" I said, "Yes, you can." So she literally bought the book I had in my hand. And so now I just got 30 more of these in stock. Okay. But I only have 5 on TikTok, or 3, or how many ever there are. I have some on my other platforms because I want to make sure all my stores are stocked. I do sell these books in person. So in person, I do sell more of them than I kind of sometimes do online. But yeah, I do appreciate all of you who are grabbing these books. I have one lady get the free digital copy. No, she bought a copy for herself, got the digital copy, and now she wants 5 more copies of the book to give them to her children. So I encourage you, share them with people's households. I mean, it's one of the ways you can share the love of Christ, in a way
So
that,
bam, drop out to people mailboxes.
I mean, technically you can't open people's mailboxes because you can get in trouble for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't do that part. But
Yeah,
you,
my bad. What I just said.
but you can mail them to people. Okay, you can mail them to people. You can definitely bring them to your family. You can leave them at doctors' offices, places where people may be getting hard news. This might be something that honestly can change people's world. Okay, I'm telling you, it does. It really does make a difference. I've had people who have financial problems who have seen the other side of that. I've had people start businesses that are frustrated, and they come out of frustration. So I want to show you, I want to encourage you and tell you that there are better days. All right. And so I want to encourage you with that. Let me think, is there anything else I need to share? I don't know. I don't think I have.
Thank God, love everything.
I think I got everything out there.
Everything though, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
my book will be released in December.
Yes.
December 12th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So real quick, if you are new to the live and you are wanting to get your book out, I can definitely help you with Write Anything Easily. It is my process for how you can ultimately write and tell your stories from, if you've written nothing before, if you're writing, this guide will show you how to write, to publish, to edit, and do all that stuff, and do it professionally. So you're getting on all the platforms, 44,000 outlets all around the world. Yes, it includes Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, many other stores, but it also can include stores like your TikTok shop and all these other places now you can sell books. So I want to show you, if you are wanting to know how to make it a business, what can you make? A lot of people say, okay, well, Crystal, I want to put my book out, but what do I need to know? And I'm going to tell you what you need to know. What you need to know is, what are the numbers? Okay. So realistically, most new authors sell about 500 copies lifetime. Okay. I talk about this in this book. It's the very first section because I feel like it should be talked about. So you do know how much you want to invest, right? Because it is an investment. If you're doing this book, this is what you want to know this. Okay. This is a hardback book. It is in full color. This looks like a college guide, and it is more helpful. It's written in a way you can understand it. I talk human. I'm a regular person, so
Not AI now.
yeah, I'm not AI. So the same way I'm talking to you is the way the book reads. I know sometimes people are like, "Man, I don't want to buy the book because I might not understand it." Nope, you won't have that problem because I wrote it. I speak in my regular voice like I'm doing now. So the same way I'm talking to you is the way it reads. Okay, so that will give you some confidence. And then 2, I'm going to give you a free consultation when you order this book on my shop. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use this book. So you're not going to buy this and not know what to do. I want to take you through how to use it. And then after that, if you need me to help you finish it, to publish it, to edit, to ghostwrite, I do all of that stuff with my company, and I can do it with you. Okay. But ultimately, if you say, well, my budget is under $100 to get my book done, I'm telling you, this is the best $100 you can spend to write, edit, and publish your book and know how to do it the right way. All right. And not limit yourself to one store or I hate to say it, or not reach anybody. All right. So if that's where you're at, you want to start with this guide. Okay. Now, another thing that I want to tell you too is 500 copies, right? So if you're selling 500 copies, your books are $20 a unit, right? Then ultimately you can make about
$1,000.
$10,000.
1,000.
10,000.
Oh yeah, my
Okay,
bad, my bad,
okay.
my bad.
I've been
my
doing
bad,
this
my
a minute.
bad.
I know the math. But anyway, so if you can make $10,000 by selling 500 units, will that mean you might have to get out here and tell people about your book? Yes, you will. Will you
That's
have to
pretty
go?
good though.
I know. You see the numbers? See, this is something. If you invest $100, and it's less than that, y'all. With tax, I think it's like $92. You can invest $92 and know how to make 10,000. Okay, if you do it yourself and you follow the steps. All right. So I want to show you it is very possible to take your dreams and turn them into a reality and honestly make a living. All right. But you will have to talk to people about your book. You will have to know what you're writing for.
Stop promoting it.
You will have to build your base, which I talked about in the first chapter. The first thing you should do is build your base. Who are you going to write to? Who do you want to relate to? Who do you want to connect with? Because all of these things are important to carry your story and to sell your book. Okay. So if you're having these realistic questions and dialogues, I want you to grab this book. All right. And if the book is expensive, some people might say, Crystal, I really want to learn this, but that's kind of expensive. So what I would like to encourage you to do, if you're on TikTok, there is a $26 option where you can get just the outlines. Okay. So it's not going to include the guide, but it will include my outlines, my cheat codes, stuff like that. It's $26. So if you are on other platforms, you will have to send me a message and I can give you access to that link so that you'll be able to get it for $26. It's not going to be the full book. It's not the ebook. This book is not an ebook. Okay. If you're looking for this as an ebook, it doesn't exist because I don't want to honestly. When you have this book in your hand, it hits different. Okay.
Right.
So I want you to get the physical book on purpose. All right. So grab the book and then it will show you how to use the outlines. Now, if the budget is not there, get the outlines and then grab the book once you see the benefit of the outlines. Okay. Because I know you will. And once you get the outlines, you're like, okay, where's the rest? It's in here. Okay. When I do consultations for my clients, they're $156. I give them this book for free. Okay. This is an $85 book, y'all. But I know that whether they work with me or someone else, they'll know what to do and they will not get robbed. And for me, that's enough. If I don't work with you, it's okay. But I at least want you to know how to work this out yourself because I believe in building the kingdom. All right. So yeah, so if you want to do that, grab that book. And then lastly, if you are looking to turn your book into a business, I don't want to skip talking about that. All right. And we're almost done here. I know for many of you, you probably got to run, and that is okay. I am just going to mention this last thing. This is the Turnkey Solution book. It is a hardback book as well, full color. Again, written to where regular people can understand it. All right. Inside the book, I do showcase some of my clients who's used this book and used my services to know how to launch their businesses right. So if you're looking to launch your business, you're looking to start something you ain't never did before, and you're like, what do I do? I'm going to show you in this book. Okay. And this book has a really good table of contents. All right. That can take you through a lot. This takes you through how to formulate your mission, your vision, and your positioning statements. So if you don't know what those are, this will help. If you're looking to make your slogan and all this other stuff, it can be overwhelming when you don't know what to look for. And so I wrote this book to help you connect the dots. This is one of my published authors, also a person that used my consultancy services. Okay. So if you need a consultant, a business consultant, I can help you. This is what I do. I help people to organize their businesses, their thoughts, and make them make sense. And if they are wanting them to be profitable, I show you how to do that. I also take you through how to do a SWOT analysis. If you don't know what that is, it's where we look at your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Every business has them. Okay. Even yours, no matter if it's new, 2 days old, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, there's always going to be a SWOT you want to do. Okay. This right here, I want to show you how essentially you can stay on a roll, meaning stay on target. So if your business is started, but it's kind of not really working out as well as you want, I want to show you how to make it better. I'm going to show you how to effectively brainstorm. Okay. As business owners, we have to be solution driven. So if you have not been solution driven, or if maybe some of the things you've been trying isn't working, I want to help you look at those things again. Okay. Sometimes it's tweaking just a little bit of something for us to be able to get you going in the right direction. And once you nail your audience and you know that your service is right, it builds your confidence. So if you've been struggling with sales or marketing or social media or content creation, this book will help you to step through some of those things too. So, 4 steps to create a customer avatar. I talk about that because you got to know who your real clients are. I know sometimes we say our clients are everybody. Maybe they can't be everybody because it's expensive. To try to reach everybody is challenging too. You can miss the real people because you're chasing people who could be, maybe want to be, maybe is the key. But you want to find people who really are. Okay. So, I want to encourage you with that. Let's see, there's so much stuff in this book. This is another fill in the blank example. So, one of the things I tell people, they go to all these coaching things and they come out with nothing. I say, please, before you go and buy another coaching course or hire another coach or whatever it is, try this book first and see and come out with something tangible because these coaches need you to have something tangible so that they can help you tweak it. I know some people are buying stuff and they're ahead of where they are physically or in their business. So if that's been you, if you've been struggling in that area, I want to definitely encourage you in that way. Okay. I know we got probably about 10 minutes and then I'm going to be jumping off. This right here is what a CRM is. Okay. I know a lot of people in business are kind of afraid of them, but CRMs are a perfect way to consolidate the services you need for your business. So it can bring marketing into an umbrella, invoicing, calendars, websites, email campaigns, a lot of the stuff that you kind of got to remember and keep track of. It helps you to bring it all into one place. Okay. I love my CRM. I create them, I build them for people, I manage them for people. So if this is something that you need help with, you can DM me as well. It's definitely covered in great length in this book. Okay. My goal is to show you how to do it yourself. Okay. But if you say, yeah, this is great, but I know I'm going to need help, I can show you how to do that too. Okay. Let me see what else is there. This is one of my clients. This is Dr. Ida White. She is amazing lady. She worked in all kinds of capacities, retired now, published her book at 92. Okay. So it's never, you're never too late to do something you want to do with your life and your time. And so like we said earlier, writing is therapy. And I want to encourage you.
True therapy, especially around your life story.
It is. It is. I know we help Selena McBride also tell her story and get hers out to the world. Incredible story. Some of us have grown up and people told us we were not this enough, whether it's skinny enough, white enough, black enough, or this enough, and we don't fit in the communities in which we were born. So sometimes when we don't find our footing early, we can spend our lifetime feeling displaced. And so what I love about her is she was able to show how, she was able to come out of that position. And so I want to show you that your books can also be helpful to helping other people honestly get to where they need to be. So if you are looking to start a business or go into a business, this is a great book. Definitely a great series to check out. Also, I want to let you know just some things in case you were curious about me. I know people are like, well, what's your story, Crystal? You're out here talking about all this stuff. What's your story? So look for the drift and expect the outpour. Is the I have to look at the title because I have 2 books that are named similarly. And
I'll point out.
yes. So yes, I look I'm like, okay, let me pick the right one. So this one is a really good example of my story. And I wanted to write a book that kind of talks about my business journey that commingles with my life story because a really good business combines the two. Like when you're building a business, you're still living life. You're still having challenges. You're looking for what the drip. The drip is your natural talents, your natural gifts and abilities. So if you are looking for that and you're trying to see where it is or find it or find your purpose, I want to encourage you. The drip was born with you. You see, when the drip hits you, you know it's gonna rain. So if you're like, Lord, I need, y'all know what grows in the rain though? Plants grow, trees grow, life happens. Photosynthesis and all kinds of stuff that we need to breathe and live. It requires water. Water is so important. Most of the earth is made up of water. So I want to encourage you that if you feel like you're in a drought season, like life is on nothing, I want to show you how you already have something on the inside of you. Your body is more water than anything else. So if that's the case, that means you're born with the water, right? You're born with what you need to be able to accomplish what you're supposed to do with your life and in your life. But the question is, where is it at? Where has your mind maybe have dried up, or where has you maybe given up in certain areas? So I want to encourage you with this book. It's my story. This one covers my second divorce and having a couple of more children. Three are covered in this book, out of my four. The first book I published covers my first baby. So yeah. So if you are honestly wanting to write a memoir or tell your story and see how it can be helpful to bring other people out, I encourage you to check out this book. Okay.
That's a good one too.
It is. It actually really is a good book. I'm so excited about it, and it was a sermon I was actually going to teach. And some things happened with the calendar, and I wasn't able to teach it. And I said, "Well, Lord, what do you want me to do with the message?" Because I know how many of y'all know when the Father wants you to get something out, He doesn't really care that it didn't come out the way you thought it was going to come out. And that was that book. And so I ended up turning a sermon into the actual story He had me to tell. And inside the book, it does cover chapter and verse for different sections in the Bible to let you know how you can use this book to apply it to your own life. Okay. Learning about me is great, but I mean, I know learning about you is better, right? Learning about the Father is the greatest. So I want to show you how you can do that with your life too. How you can find the drips, how you can find the mist, how you can find the rain. Sometimes it will hail. It'll be hard rocks that hit your life, things that you thought would never happen that will happen, people you thought would never leave that leaves, things that you never thought would be that is. And you got to find a way to still live and to grow and to love and to live. And so I want to encourage you, Shing Queen. Thank you, love. I thank you so much for supporting the live. Thank y'all for the hearts and those that have followed and liked and all that. Thank you so much, baby. I see you with the hearts over here too. So yeah, so I want to encourage you that there is beauty in your ashes, and the Father knows how to pull them out. And so I know some of us might say, well, Lord, it's all over. It might not be. And that might be over. And for some of us, we're rejoicing it's over. We need it to be over. That need to be done, as Melvina would say. So done. Okay. Y'all cook something and you like, dang, I burnt that real good. Like it's black. It ain't no saving it. Some things you just gotta throw it out because ain't no saving it. It's over. And and that's okay. The Father is a really good God who is okay with restarts. So if you are in a phase right now of your life where you need to restart, you need to reset, you are in a good position because the Father loves a good challenge. And He says, is there anything too hard for God? He said that in Revelation. So if you missed it throughout all the Bible, at the end of it, He says the same thing. So He's the same God in the old to the new. And so I want to definitely encourage you to trust Him and to take His hand if this is where you are in your life. And I want to show you how He took my hand, honestly, y'all, and took me from honestly a low place where I thought low of myself. In this book, I show you how low I really got. And then what I had to learn and trust the Father through. And it doesn't even show you where I am. It just shows you to where I've gotten to. I'm gonna have to call it back. And it show you where I've gotten to. And so if you are honestly in a position where you need to make money, where you need to grow, where you need to believe in yourself, where you really need to rebuild your life, I want to encourage you to check out this book. It's a really good, I need to rebuild my life. Okay. Let me make sure. I don't think I forgot any books, did I? Well,
Not at all.
let me mention the last one because this is the one for the book club. I know we read this one, but in case you're popping on now, you probably don't know what the book of the month is. So the book of the month is We Expect the Drip, not the Downpour, which is the book we were reading. I'll make sure I didn't miss this one. So if you have caught today's reading, then you heard a snippet of it. One of the saucier chapters for sure in the book, chapter 8. Apparently one that Jacob didn't read all of.
Not at all. So I'll let you read it. Mine
But
read
it's a good book. It's definitely not an
it. It is.
X-rated
Yes.
book.
It's a
It's
good
a
book.
really
I
good
skipped that
story.
chapter. I'm like, nope. Nope.
It's a really good story. It's good for I definitely people who like, honestly, a realistic journey, a realistic time, but also one that has twists and turns that we all go through in life, and how honestly, there's nothing too hard for the Father. Some of us had to raise ourselves because our parents, honestly, were dealing with postpartum depression, or it was an adjustment. Sometimes children may feel like they're born in a family that didn't want them, and that was the case for one of the characters in the book. And so when she felt like Kimberly, when she felt like she was out of place, it was up to her and God, to figure it out. And this is when the Father will drop people into your life to help carry you when your own family won't carry you. He'll show you how he can deliver you out of circumstances that honestly, if it wasn't for God, you wouldn't be here. I mean, I'm one of those people that benefited from other people pouring into my life. Hi, Larry. How you doing? And so yeah, so if that's you, if you're looking for a book that is going to have some fun in it, it is funny, y'all. It does have some good dialogue scenes in here. It does have some saucy scenes.
Skip page 96.
Oh, 96 isn't that bad. He's so
What,
funny.
what page was that again?
That was 90. It's probably 96. So chapter 8 is,
No, it was page 98.
was it 98?
98. Skip the rest of the chapter. I believe it was 98, 96.
Oh, come on. It's okay. So I mean, I would read some of this, y'all. He says why? Why should he skip 90, 98?
I'm good.
So in 98, let me be clear, y'all. I don't, this doesn't have any X-rated elements to it. Now, does it allude to things in the book? It does. But there is nothing in here that's like, what I'm saying, really raunchy. So if you don't want a book that has like raunchiness in it, but you want one that has some, that means I have to look. He said he has to look at 98.
Go and do it for yourself.
I mean, it's a really, really good book. So if you want a book that has a little sauce in it, but not too much where you feel like, oh my gosh, Lord, I need to repent. It ain't like that. But it definitely got enough sauce in it to make you say, all right, check. I need that. I needed to read that because some people do. Some people need to know love is real. So yeah, if you've been, looking to rekindle your interest in getting remarried or starting again, or you're married, you can definitely enjoy this book and go practice some of the extra stuff that goes beyond the moment. And have a good time.
I guess that price is meant for married folks only.
It's not that deep. He's so funny. He's so deep. It's not that deep, y'all. He's making this book sound like it is so like X-ray. This is like PG. I would say what 17. It's like PG 17. Okay, so if you're wondering the rating, it's PG 17.
I guess I'm over exaggerating, y'all. I mean, y'all can read for yourselves, but I know I should the rest of the chapter myself. So,
I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, it's a good book anyway, though, y'all. So
if you skip 98, what is it? What is it? 3 pages? Hold on.
About 3 pages.
Yeah, if you skip 3 pages, you're not going to miss a whole lot about the book. What you will miss is the fact that Christina in this part of the book is going through a transformation. Okay, so she came out of it wasn't a long-term relationship, but it was a heavily invested relationship. And when she did, she ended up having to decide how does she move forward. And I think for some people that are moving forward, not everybody's a Christian, right? She's not. So her way of moving forward was Javier. Other people's way forward may not be a Javier. It could be spending time with you, taking yourself to the movies. That's all I'm really wanting to underline is spending time with you and finding value in yourself, even if something you thought was going to last forever doesn't. Okay, so if you're looking for that, it covers that. It is some police scenes in here, which I think makes a good novel. So if you know the police got to be called at least once or twice, this book has it. If you know it needs to have some drama, a death, or stuff like that, it's in here. So yeah, it's like that. So it's a really good novel. This book is 206, around 260 pages. Thank you. They say they love you. They love us. So I love you guys. Oh, let me.
So it's all love. Y'all be doing that.
He's so cute. Bending the fingers is a little challenging for him. I love y'all. So yeah, definitely. Thank y'all for the hearts, for the likes, for sure. For the hearts, it's so sweet. So yeah, so you want to grab this book right here. It's in my shop, and it comes signed, by the way. So you'll definitely enjoy the journey. And I think that's it. Now, one book that he brought out here that he mentioned, so I should probably mention as well, is Your Legacy Moment. So real quick, in this book, I'm gonna pin it here. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me get it. So the reason I wrote this book is because I know a lot of us are trying to build a legacy, and a lot of us didn't necessarily have the roadmap, right? So not having a roadmap can make this process difficult. And what I didn't want to do is to honestly change my life and not show other people how they can change their life too. So in this book, I deal with 5 areas of your life to essentially help you build a legacy. Okay. You don't just build a legacy when you die. You don't leave a legacy that way. You build it while you live.
Right.
So I want to show you in this book how to build a legacy so you have one to leave. Okay. So you might say, okay, Crystal, what's in the book? If it's, is it just, life insurance? No, but I do cover life insurance. I do talk about it. I do talk about a lot of things that you want to have assurance in, and definitely insurance and how to, be buried and stuff like that is important. So I don't want you to run from this book. I want you to embrace this book. I want you to embrace it so much. I give you $5,000 in free gifts. Okay. And there's QR codes in the book for you to get the free gifts, and you don't have to buy anything to get those free gifts. They're there for you, for your family. You can share them with anybody you want. And here's what's in it. There's an introduction that's going to cover the purpose of your legacy moment. All right. Ancestry, longevity, legacy matters. And I want to show you how in this book. Emotional health is the first chapter in the book. Spiritual health is also combined in emotional health. So I want to make sure you're emotionally and spiritually healthy. Okay. If you're not, this is going to be good for you. All right. Another one, physical health. If you're not physically healthy, okay, I want to show you how you can honestly start changing your life. Don't wait till you feel like there's nothing else. Don't wait till all the wheels fall off. And if they've fallen off, let's look at how we can get them back on point before, honestly, it may be too late for certain things. Okay. Another thing, financial health. And I say emotional and spiritual health first because a lot of people don't realize, but stress causes strokes, can cause heart attacks. Okay. Diabetes, things like we don't care about. And when we start eating anything and everything because we're depressed or we're sad, then we can honestly lose feet, lose toes. I have friends who lost physical body parts because they are spiritually dealing with something else, or they are emotionally caught up in unforgiveness or not being able to accept themselves or something.
Unforgiveness make you sick.
Yeah, so I want to show you how to honestly get wholeheartedly, okay? Not just in one area, but in multiple areas of your life. Big on the physical health and spiritual health. You should be, because it all is part of your well-being and your legacy. And then next, I talk about preserving your legacy, okay? Preserving your legacy is about definitely putting it down on paper, okay? This is why you should write a book even if you don't publish it, but just have it for yourself. Share it with your children. Let your great grandchildren be able to read your story from your own mouth, because other people will speak for you if you don't speak for yourself. Okay. So that's in there. Another thing I share too is, how do you keep your pictures? I mean, a lot of people who say they lost this in the flood or that in the flood or the family threw it away. Some of the most harshest things people can do. I want to show you how you can avoid that, how everybody can get copies of the recipe, stuff like that. I want to show you how you can do that, how you can preserve it in the book. This is what the headers look like too, by the way. So if you're curious about the layout of the book, it is definitely written with some finesse. And there is a poem in here too that I wrote that I can have Jacob read. I'm not gonna read it either. You wanna try to read that?
Yeah.
So here's a poem I'm gonna leave you with, guys, and then we're gonna pray and I'm gonna let you guys go. I know we gotta get out of here too because they're closed. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's 20 minutes ago.
Yes, but I had to finish the live on TikTok. I had to do my 2 hours.
People say we should care about the past. They say we shouldn't live so fast. They say they say to spend time with the old because their stories help you be bold. But we are busy trying to find our way. History will repeat and there is no escape. If you don't value the old, no one will know the way forward. We are more than the money we make. We have hopes, dreams, and mistakes, instances. People can learn from heroes who have their own song. Why won't you spend a little time to share your story? Invest in your future for the King's glory. He made you wonderful and gave you daughters and sons. He wants you to build a tradition, ruling in Him, and not greed or jealousy. When we can see the talent in ourselves, we have no problem with being there. I'd say behind that.
Good.
When we know that we have something to share, to give, we are able to live. I want to plead with you. Don't let the sun go down and you don't preserve your legacy. Stop growing envious of those who build security. Be a good steward who get insurance. Bearing is no longer a weight. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Death can be seen as part of life and great escape. To be absent from the body and be present with God, where it is His mistake. He loves us and will allow us to blossom and flower. Then at the right time, he will bloom no more and our lives will hit the floor. How you live does matter. How you aspire does matter. Live a life worth living. Share your with your children in a world what they must know. Tell your story. Preserve your story. Everybody got a story to tell, y'all. Spend the time to talk about family and go to reunions, gatherings, and don't skip assembly. Your power is in your experience and understand the root of all this. A seed will grow into a tree. The tree needs the seeds repeat. Love each other, forgive each other, enjoy life and live. Enjoy life and live.
There you go. So that is
That's a
just
good
like
one too.
a nice poem that I wrote inside the book.
Yeah,
So
that's a good one too.
included in the book, you'll definitely have the poem as
Right.
well. So if you like it, you enjoyed it, feel free to grab the poem.
Your legacy
And
moment, y'all.
your
Get that
legacy
book.
moment. It is a powerful book. It really is. It's incredible resources throughout that book that I cannot say enough about. But yes, y'all, we got to go, you got to go, and we know. So I'm going to just give y'all a quick prayer and we're going to be out of here, okay? So, Father, in the mighty name of your Son, Yeshua, Jesus the Christ, we tell you thank you. Thank you for allowing us to gather in the midst of our lives. Thank you for allowing us to stop and acknowledge you and your ways and to invite you into our hearts and our minds. Father, heal our bodies, heal our minds, heal our plans. Lord, establish your way in our lives. Direct us, Father. Eliminate any seeds of confusion. Father, help us with any seeds of double mindedness or doubt we have concerning our future. Help us to stand strong in who you created us to be. Allow us to see ourselves the way you do. Help us to learn from our mistakes and be able to love ourselves through our changes. Allow us to have patience where we need it and allow us to be able to stop things that you say is finished. I thank you, Father, for who you are in us and who you are for humanity. I thank you for your sacrificial giving in our lives. And Father, how we live is how we give back to you to show our gratitude. May you continue to pour your word and your encouragement and your love into our earth and vessels. May you continue to show us how to be like you here on earth so that those who are looking for hope can find it. Those that are looking for joy or peace can see it and to experience it and to know that you are real. May you continue to deliver us and give us perfect peace in our dreams and in our sleep. In the mighty name of your Son, Jesus the Christ, we say thank you. Hallelujah. And it is so. Yes, so be it. It is so. All right, y'all. So I want to let y'all know I thank y'all for hanging in here with us. I know today was a bit longer than normal, but I want to let y'all know.
It was making up for last week.
Yeah, on TikTok Shop too. I am definitely going to have a flash sale and like promos coming out over the next few days. So I'll do probably another live tomorrow or Wednesday, and then I'll have six or so many coupons that I can give you guys. So I'm excited. I love earning them, so I can share them with you. So you'll be able to get great content for more affordable prices. So if that is what you're into and you need, feel free to come back on TikTok. I'll be back a couple more times this week to help you get some great content. Until then, y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you guys for being with me over here as well. Y'all know I love you. I see you. Thank you for your comments, and I look at them after the live. So feel free to comment, DM, like, and share if you haven't. For all those who gave hearts and coins and things like that, thank you again. I cannot say thank you enough for supporting us, Jacob and I. We enjoyed this club, the Growing Book Club, where we can share more and help you to grow on a monthly basis. We are in month 10, and in January, we would have completed a year. So we're excited to materialize to then, and we're going to just keep going.
We gonna miss one Monday, but that was last Monday.
So yeah, so that was our only vacation day, but we've been here all the time. Right. All right. So until next Monday, y'all be blessed, and we will see you.